What's up, my name's Technobo here for Troubleshoot, and in today's video I've got a really interesting topic for you that I've wanted to do for quite some time but had no idea how to do. Basically, if you're hosting a Minecraft server, it has to be running all the time for someone to connect. But assuming you'd like to save some RAM to use in other programs, etc., you'd have to go ahead and stop your server completely and then start it for people to join. Is there a way that you can have your server off all the time until someone wants to connect to it? It starts up, they play, they disconnect, and the server shuts down once again. Well, that's exactly what I'll be showing you how to do in this video today. While running a Minecraft server isn't too heavy on your CPU at all times, it does take a constant amount of RAM, and that is however much you give the server. At times, CPU can spike, especially when plugins are saving the world, etc, etc. So for this video, I'll be using both my desktop over here and my laptop where I have this server running. Everything is port forwarded and working as expected. I'm currently using a paper server, and if you're curious on how to set one up for yourself, as well as port forwarding, etc., those videos will be linked in the description down below. So now that I've started up my Minecraft server on my laptop, I can have a look at Task Manager over here, and you can see that Minecraft is using 5, 6, or 7 gigabytes of RAM and only a tiny bit of CPU processing power. And the server will always use a constant amount of RAM. It will fluctuate a bit up and down. But with that aside, as you can see the server's running, I'm simply going to go ahead and open up Minecraft and show you that I'm able to connect to it. Currently loading, long command 0 out of 20. I can connect to it, and of course play Minecraft as per normal. It's just currently a normal paper server, working exactly as you'd expect. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from the server, and then save the actual server itself with save all, to save the world and everything else in it. Then I'll be using stop. Then once the server closes down completely, I'll also close the CMD window as well. Of course, I'm using a GUI, but for you, you'll probably only be using the CMD window with no GUI. So with all of that aside, let's get into the actual video. Basically, we'll be using this open source project over here, McSleepingServerStarter. We'll be downloading this and installing it, setting it up, and choosing a Minecraft version. Currently, the latest public release is set for 1.16.1. If your server's running something newer than that, in other words, like mine on 1.16.2, you'll need to do something a bit different other than just downloading this exe over here. And that's exactly what I'll be showing you in today's video. We'll be able to pick a specific version of Minecraft, set up this open source project, and as soon as someone pings the server, it'll return its name, someone tries to connect, and it'll say the server's starting up, and then of course, it'll boot up the server. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and install some prerequisites. Scrolling down on this page, we'll need Node.js. If you're using Linux, you'll need Node as well, but you can check that out here. So heading across to Node.js's website, we'll see this page over here. Now, of course, you'll need to download Node if you don't already have it installed, and of course, I'll be guiding you through that now. So I'll click on Current for latest features, and I'll click Windows Installer. I'll click on it to open it when it's done, and we'll begin installing Node.js. Simply clicking Next, I accept, Next, choosing an install location, Next, and leaving everything as is here, Next. We'll make sure to check this box over here saying automatically install the necessary tools, Next, and install. Then when you see this window over here, simply press any key again, and then yes when prompted for admin. From here, Chocolatey will install, and it'll install a bunch of other prerequisites. And then when we get to here, you'll see type enter to exit, simply type enter and hit enter. Then that window will close, and we're completely done installing Node.js. The next step, we'll have to make sure that we know where our Minecraft server is. And for that, I'll be heading across to my laptop over here, where this paper folder contains my Minecraft server. So all we have to do from here is head across to the GitHub page linked in the description down below. This is the McSleepingServer open source project. Simply have a look at this page over here, click the code button in the top right, and then click download zip. Then we'll be downloading a zip, clicking it to open it once it's done, and we'll open the folder inside of the zip so we see all of these files. We'll select all of them and then drag and drop them all out into the same folder as our Minecraft server jar. If I refresh the folder, you'll see all of these new files at the very top over here. From here, all we have to do is install a plugin into our Spigot, Paper, CraftBucket, etc. server that will shut down the server automatically when there are no players online. And for this, it's super simple. We're going to be using the McSleepingServerStarter plugin. Head across to the third link in the description down below, which will take you across to the Spigot MC page. Simply click download now, and McSleepingServerStarter.jar will be downloaded. All you have to do is simply click keep, head across to your paper server, head across to your Minecraft server, and open up the plugins folder. Then simply drag and drop the jar file that we just downloaded into this folder, and now it's loaded onto our server. Basically, this plugin will shut down your server after 60 seconds when no player is on. And when that happens, this McSleepingServerStarter simply waits for people to ask if the server is online, and then if someone connects to it, it'll start it up again. So now that we've got Node.js installed, the starter and the stopper installed, let's go ahead and do a tiny bit of config before we actually get to launching this project. So simply open up sleepingsettings.yml with a text editor of your choice. I'll be using Notepad++. Then inside of here, we can adjust the server name. This will be the server name that shows up on the list to something that you want. So I'll enter the name of the server, which was Longman, and inside of brackets, I'll enter sleeping. Of course, the name doesn't really matter at all. Then when a player connects to the server, this login message will be presented to them. Currently, it's waking server up, come back in a minute. That sounds about right. Then what we have to do is replace the server startup command at the very bottom over here. Currently, it's simply starting up spigot.jar with no extra arguments. Heading across to our server folder over here and opening up our run.bat, server.bat, etc. We'll have the way that we normally start our server. In my case, it's this over here. Java, XMS 14 gig, XMX 16 gig, jar paper 186.jar. I'll simply copy that line and I'll paste it in here so that this is the command that's run when our server is asked to start. And then finally, the last thing that we have to do in the settings folder is add a new line either at the end or say somewhere up here and add server version as such, capitalization is important, colon, space followed by the server's version. In my case, it'll be 1.16.2. Then hit Ctrl S to save the file and you can close out of it. What versions are currently supported? Well, it uses the Node Minecraft protocol, which is this project over here, linked in the description down below. Simply make sure that the server version you're trying to use is on this list over here. If it is, great. And then finally, the last thing that you have to be aware of is the server port over here. This is supposed to match the same port that your server is running on. If you're running multiple servers, make sure to change this over here. So now that we've configured this, let's quickly install this project as we haven't done it just yet and make sure everything's up to date. So at the very top in the URL bar over here, I'll type in cmd and it'll open a command prompt window inside of our server folder. In my case, C uses Techno Desktop Paper, this folder over here. Then with the command prompt window open here, I'll simply type in npm space install and this will install the Node project. It'll download all of the required plugins and files and set it up for us. After that's done, we'll quickly run an update, npm space update. And great, now we're done updating the actual server itself. And then finally, after the update commands are run, all you have to do to start the server is type in npm space start. This will then show you a bunch of text as such and says ready for battle. I'll open up Minecraft once again and refresh my server list. This time you should see a different icon, which you do. Longman over here, sleeping 0 out of 20. As you can see on the server side, as soon as I refresh the list, a new line appears saying a prince has taken a quick peek, handshaking 1.16.2. This handshaking over here is the client version that's pinging the server. If we try and connect to the server, we'll see connecting to the server, and after a couple of seconds, we'll see connection lost, waking up the server, come back in a minute. Having a look at our server screen over here, we can see that the Minecraft server is currently starting up, as you'd expect. So from here, all the player has to do is wait for the server to start up completely. And there we go. Now that the server's started up, I can refresh the list over here. And as you can see, our server's running. Double clicking, opening it up, we're now connecting to the server as per normal as the normal server is running. If we go ahead and disconnect, you'll see on the server console over here that after 60 seconds, it should say server is shutting down. There we go. Server empty, shut down in 60 minutes. So that may be a bit long for your liking. If we head across to the actual server folder itself, then open up the plugins folder, we can have a look for the empty server stopper folder and open up the config. As you can see, shutdown time 60. I'll set it up to 1. Saving the file, after a minute our server should shut down. So for this, I'll simply run stop for now, just to make sure that we close the server, and I'll double click on the server once again. The server will start up. I'll go ahead and try to connect to the server using my Minecraft client. The server will once again start up. And now that the server started up, I'll go ahead and connect to it and then disconnect so that our server shutdown plugin now says shutdown in 1 minute. We'll simply wait for the server to shut down after a minute so you can see what happens. And there we go, the Minecraft server has stopped as expected. And it's simply waiting for someone to refresh their list, then they're able to connect to the server and play as normal. The server goes back to this low power sleeping mode. Awesome. So from here, I'll simply close out of the command prompt window and head back to our server folder. We'll be taking our old server.bat and either renaming it so we don't use it, like this, old server.bat, or we'll simply be editing it. I'll be making a new one, simply titled server.bat once again. I'll go ahead and open it up with a text editor at echo off, and the next line will be npm space start. Then on the third line, just in case this program decides to crash, I'll enter pause. That'll keep the window open if for some reason it crashes out and would vanish usually. So closing out of it, simply running server.bat will start up our listener once again, waiting for someone to connect, and then it'll start up the server. So what if you'd like to change the server's icon from this one over here to your own server icon or something else? Well, first of all, you have to make sure that you actually have one. This image over here is 64 by 64 pixels, which is the exact dimensions that a server icon needs to be. Simply rename the file to server-icon and make sure it's of .png file type. Then I'll be pasting it into the home directory of our server, and then we'll be opening up SleepingServerStarter.js with a text editor of our choice. This .js file is where all of the code for the server starter is. What we're looking for is the very top, favicon string. Inside of here, we have a base64 encoded image URI. All we have to do is select everything between the open quotation marks and the closing quotation marks at the end here, then removing them. All we have to do is encode that image as a base64 URI. How do we do that? Well, the next link in the description down below will take you across to this page over here. Simply drag and drop the icon onto this page and then click copy image. Then we'll head back to the quotation marks and simply paste it in there. Then save this file and simply open up server.bat. Refreshing our server list, we should see our server over here now has the server icon that we mentioned earlier. Opening it up, it'll go ahead and start the server as you'd expect using McSleepingServerStarter. And after it eventually starts up, because we also placed the server icon in the home directory of the folder, our normal server itself should also have an icon on it, where before it didn't have an icon when the actual server was running. And now that our actual server is running, you can see our icon over here is working as expected. Joining the server, we can play as usual, and as soon as we disconnect, the server will shut down in a minute back to that low power mode. And then simply refreshing our server list, and there we go. So anyways, that's about it for this video. It took incredibly long to record, in fact over half an hour, so hopefully I'm able to edit this down to something a bit more understandable. Anyways, I'll probably keep using this for my server, as the amount of RAM that it takes up now is absolutely tiny, being only 60 megabytes instead of a couple of gigabytes. Thank you all for watching, my name's been TechNobo here for Troubleshoot, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao!